Ladies and gentlemen, what is up and welcome to today's video where we're going to rank up and do a bit of gameplay on Punisher 2099, kind of recap his abilities and stuff that he does, and yeah, kind of do like initial thoughts, early impressions of the character, just, initially off the bat what's coming to mind, and then I think like after this video I'm going to spend quite a bit of time doing some testing with the character, then later this week we'll probably do like a bit more of a video summary of, the pros and cons of this character. But this video is very much kind of a first look and hands-on gameplay of the character. So we're going to go ahead and smash that claim button and then go over to champions and let's get him awakened and ranked up. So let's filter tech, and then freestyle is going to be right down the bottom there. Let's start off with a tech awakening gem. Got so many of these freestyle ones, that's pretty awesome. And then in terms of upgrade materials, I think I'm really lacking a lot of tech ISO. I think we got enough basic just to get into rank 1 here. But I think we're going to have to use a bit of like 5k skill ISO, because I have so much of that. But not really any characters I want to take up in the immediate future. I've kind of got Daredevil on my radar, but there are a few more that, I want to try and like get maybe like an Archangel or an Iceman and use my resources to rank up those characters before getting my Daredevil up, because I don't really need him at the moment. So yeah, let's actually have a look at my tier 5 ISO. What do we have? Just a lot of skill, really. Okay, let's go ahead and claim a little bit of that then. So let's claim 19 of those. Why not? Yeah, I think that'll be enough, and then we can use some basic resources and other resources from various classes to get him up. Science, not going to be taking up any characters for a while. I think I need Cosmic for something. I can't quite pinpoint what I need it for, though. Just off the top of my head. But there we go. Oh man, it always feels so bad though. Like it feels naughty, like using ISO from a different class to rank up a character. But it's got to be done. It's got to be done. Make this rank up video pretty damn quick. Let's have a bit of a smash there. There we go. Is one more going to be a bit too much overkill? Yeah, it's a little bit too much overkill there. So we'll go back to the basic stash. Use some of the 525 basics just to kind of top it off there. So let's filter by basic. Still got quite a few of these 525 basics, to be honest, from the, what was it, the Halls of Healing? Damn, that was such a good quest. I really hope that they return that at some point. That'd be good. It's another one, that nice to bring out when they, well, royally fuck up the game. Just to be like, hey guys, we're sorry, like, have this quest. It's a quick win for them, really. Like, it's not a bad idea. But yeah, I like the Halls of Healing, man. That was a very unexpected event, but quite a good one. Right, so we got the boy up to level 19 now. How much more basic stuff do we have? So we can fill by like tier 3. Let's chuck in tier 4 as well. Let's claim max and just chuck a load of this basic in here. Don't know if this is gonna take a little bit too long. Oh, it shouldn't be too bad actually. The levels shoot up quite rapidly. I love, you know what? One of the things that I often forget about is the days where you could only like load in like 6 ISO and then you'd have to like smash the upgrade and kind of wait for it to load. Oh, that was such a pain. Like rank up videos back then, they would take a decade, ladies and gentlemen. But now it's quite a bit better. Quite a bit better. I think, is this something they got from, I think this is one of the features that they copied from like Transformers. Because I remember this being like something very early on in like Transformers, but one of the things as well that I don't think they have yet is what was it? It shows you like how much ISO you overkill. Like if you overkill, if you put a little bit too much in, it shows you the exact number, so you can scale it down. So I like that one as well. That'd be a pretty nice feature for the game to have. But hey, I'm sure we'll get there eventually. Right, so this should, I think, just about do it. We might be a little bit off, but let's see. Okay, we're looking good so far. We're looking good. Yep, we are going to make it for sure. Right, that's like 20, 30, 32 overkill or something like that. It wasn't a huge amount. So there we go. We've got Punisher maxed out there. So let's check out some of his abilities and stuff. So we'll go back to the signature ability in a bit. So he has nanotech battery, which I guess is, in terms of mechanics, I guess it's really hard to relate it to any other character, because no other character has a mechanic that works kind of exactly like this. But I guess like very roughly like Dormammu's what is it, like dark energy, like would be, I guess, a way similar that it works, but yeah, I guess in a way that's very, very different. So it begins the fight with 25% of max charge, and the charge is kind of dictated by just a number on a battery buff kind of below his character icon. So every 5 seconds the battery recharges, and basically you get more charge the less buffs your opponent has. So if they've got 0, you gain 6 charge, or 6% charge. If they've got 1 buff, you gain 4%. And if they have 2 or more buffs, you gain 3%. So it has quite an advantage in terms of his battery regeneration, fighting opponents that do not gain any buffs there. So it's a bit of an interesting one to keep in mind. So these are the nanotech automatic effects. So these basically like drain a little bit of battery to apply some various effects. So the first one is, if your opponent activates a regeneration buff, 20% of the battery is drained to infect the opponent with nano inhibitors and heal blocks them for 8 seconds. And this debuff automatically reapplies itself if a regeneration buff is still active when it expires. So, yeah, potentially this character could be a very, very good option for like Realm of Legends Wolverine. One of the questions that I have about this is like, does it consume like more battery when it reapplies and stuff? Because I'm pretty sure it drains a little bit of battery there. But yeah, it doesn't really specify on that one. Huh, interesting. Oh yeah, 20% of the battery is drained. Sorry, totally missed that one out. So yeah, I wonder if it like drains to reapply it. We definitely need to do some testing around that. So the next one is Punisher drops below 10% health. The battery is drained entirely, allowing Punisher to regenerate 11.88 health over 10 seconds for each percentage drained. So I believe when he's on like 100% battery, so if you hit that under the ideal circumstances, it's only a 20% regeneration. So it kind of sucks, like, to be honest. And also it's going to gimp your battery. So it's going to gimp stuff like, you know, the heal blocking, and also the power lock and power drain. So yeah, I don't know, it doesn't seem like super great, the regeneration. And also, like, it's not an immediate regeneration effect, it's a heal over 10 seconds, so it's a little bit slow. Punisher lands a heavy attack, 15% of the battery is drained to stun the opponent for 1.5 seconds. Seems a little bit useless, if I'm honest. Like, I don't really see kind of a practical application for that. But yeah, bit of an interesting one there. Then what else do we have? Nanotech Overdrive. When the battery hits 100%, it immediately goes into overdrive and continually drains. It can also not recharge until it is drained entirely and switches back to the recharge mode. So while you're in overdrive, you gain like additional attack rating. I believe it's up to like 120% of like Punisher's attack. So yeah, a big boost to your damage output. And also, his attacks cause the opponent to gain 90% less power. So, like, when you're attacking into the opponent, it's only going to give them a very, very small fraction of power. But this isn't a complete, like, 90% power gimp. So, for example, if your opponent, like, has, like, a power gain buff or Mystic Dispersion, they're still going to get the full effect of that. It's just, like, when you're attacking in, and like the damage, you know, that you deal. So it's very, very nice to have, providing if you're not, providing you're not fighting an opponent with power gain and you've got the fight under control. Like, that's pretty good. So yeah, might have some interesting uses there. So the special attack 1, the Punisher momentarily switches his battery into overcharge mode, gaining 60% charge over 8 seconds. So from what I've seen of a lot of the early gameplay videos, one of the best ways to play Punisher, or the most effective, looks to be getting to 100 battery and then just continually playing very, very aggressive, spamming the special 1, so that you stay at 100% battery and you can just keep on attacking into the opponent with that massive damage increase. But still, this character, I guess, really isn't known for like his crazy damage. I think he has really good damage, but that's a little bit hard to interpret in a lot of the gameplay, just because like his special 1, it has so many hit components. Like his special 1 has 9 hits. So when, for example, I did the Realm of Legends Winter Soldier video, a lot of people were like, oh, you know, he sucks because it took like 600 hits. But you know, there wasn't a lot of like great gameplay at the start. It took a while for that video to kind of get into the optimal rotation, and again it was like straight off the bat, so it wasn't super great off the bat there, but I think there's definitely some interesting stuff that you can do just by kind of spamming that special 1 attack. Special attack 2, you have 20% of the battery is drained to activate auto-targeting. Auto-targeting attacks cannot trigger passive evade, and you gain a little bit of additional crit rating. To be honest, I think that it sucks. It's such a hindrance. It's quite a bit of your battery, and it doesn't really like give you much, you know. If a champion has passive evade, they can't evade it, but that's a rare scenario, I would say. So yeah, I don't know, it's just, it doesn't really seem that great for 20% of your battery, but why not, why not? And then secondary, you have Grenade Launcher, which has 100% chance to armor break, removing 1,850 armor rating for 10 seconds. That's alright. I think that's the equivalent to like a, I think it's like 20-25% armor break, maybe a little bit higher than that. Just trying to, I hate this rating, so I prefer when everything was just a percentage, because, you know, oh man, these flat ratings, like, they're killing me, man, they're killing me. And then if the battery has at least 10% charge, it expends that amount to double the duration of the armor break debuff. So yeah, if you have over 10% battery, it's a 20-second armor break debuff. But yeah, I don't know. Just from what I've seen, it just doesn't really seem worth using the special 2, but we'll try and test it out. And then finally, on the special attack 3, 50% of the battery is drained to disintegrate the opponent, dealing 920 direct damage over 10 seconds and reducing their power gain rate by 90%. So as far as I'm aware, this one is different for the overcharge mode, because this reduces like all power gain by 90%, but it's only a 10-second buff, and it's on the special 3. And it's 50% of your battery drained. So like comparatively, you know, when looking at something like that, I'm kind of like, you know, Magic is a much better character for dealing with power control, because she's got it on her special 2. You know, you're pretty much gaining a bar of power back. You can have Mystic Dispersion to gain even more power. So if you want to gimp somebody's power gain completely, like, Magic is probably the go-to champion. Like, to continually do this and have your opponent power locked just seems like pretty unfeasible in terms of, you know, the amount of battery you have to gain, the amount of power to get up to a special 3. So I think there are circumstances where that is useful, but overall, like, one of my things with Punisher is just initially from looking at some of the gameplay, the abilities, I just see that he does, a lot of other champions can do what he can do better, but you know, also have more stuff and bring a little bit more reliability to the table. But yeah, I think one of the very interesting things that he does have, though, is his signature ability, and I think this is one of the things that may possibly be useful and unique in certain circumstances. So, there has 2 components. The first one is he starts with 15% additional charge at the start of the fight, so that's pretty damn good there, so even 1 awaken level is pretty much going to do a decent amount. And then the second thing is opponent hits max power, 50% of the battery is drained, to drain 5% of the opponent's power and power lock them for 2 seconds. So, you know, if you're playing very aggressively with the special 1, and just something also to include in there, when you get them up to dupe level 99, that power lock goes up to 8 seconds. So if you've got them at like dupe level 99, if you're playing very aggressively, you could probably potentially have, you know, under the right circumstances, like 3 of these, so that's like 24 seconds where your opponent can't use a special 3. But then again, you know, thinking about that scenario as well, like Magic just spamming a special 2, it seems a little bit more easier, a little bit more reliable, and a bit more damage as well. So yeah, I don't know, Punisher, he's a bit of an interesting one. Like, I like the uniqueness of the character, I like the way that he's kind of made. I think, you know, for certain events and stuff, he's definitely going to have a use with his heal block and power control mechanics. I just think, you know, that there are slightly better characters out there from the look of it. However, now that we've covered the abilities and stuff, let's jump into some gameplay on the event quests. So we're going to go into the expert proving grounds, and we're going to take the middle path there. So I should have probably maybe put a few more SIG levels into Punisher, but I don't think we'll really be getting to the SB3 anytime soon. And that's the only thing that the, the signature ability, you know, additional levels helps, is increases that power lock duration. Which, you know, if you want to use him for that, I can understand that. But yeah, what do we want to go for? Right, the middle path. It isn't looking super great. We got Abomination to deal with, so I think for Abomination, I'm going to flatter Abomination just quickly with Storm, because if we use it with Punisher, he's just going to get poisoned to death. He's going to get absolutely wrecked. And I guess that's now one of the comparisons that I'm drawing in my head. Comparison between, like, Vision and Punisher 2099. Like, as a tech champion, Vision has heal block, he has power drain, and they're very, very reliable. They're very, very good mechanics. And also Vision, you know, he's bleeding poison immune. But I still think Punisher is a little bit more valuable than Civil Warrior by the look of it for some of the mechanics that he has. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe in the same league as Civil Warrior. Having a little bit of a think about it now. Right, should we go into this matchup with Punisher? Let's do it. We're probably going to take a little bit of damage here, but ain't too bad. Right, let's go in, let's get those hits. So we start on 40 battery when we have this character awakened. I'm actually not using the synergy. That's one of the interesting things about this character that I forgot is the synergies, which basically allow him to start with like a little bit more battery or power. Or I think one of them is the first ability that he uses to consume power. You know, does the first ability he uses to consume battery doesn't consume battery, and that's the synergy with 4 there. But there we go, not too bad. I love a special one, and the animations of this character look very, very cool. Okay, let's move on to the next fight. We did take a bit of damage there, but that was wasn't really anything that we could avoid. I think on the next fight we'll have adequate time to build up to the special 2, so we can show that off. But yeah, I'd like to, on the boss fight, try and get like a special 2. If we can time that quite nicely with his overdrive mode, maybe that's going to deal quite a bit of damage. But yeah, we'll figure it out. That's also going to drain our overdrive mode pretty quickly, I guess. Right, let's get the evade there. I forgot to use the special 2 in this fight. I think we can get there. Yeah, we can get there in this fight. We have the class disadvantage. Okay, just trying to bait another SB1. Actually, you know what? Screw it. We're just gonna go in. Oh, a little bit tentative there. Let's fire that off. Oh damn, that is badass there. Didn't deal much damage though, just because, what was it? When a character, like in a fight, is already registered dead, then like all your attack bonuses and stuff, they just completely go. So yeah, made it look like a little bit of a weak one there. But in the next matchup with 4, we'll get to the special 2. Then I guess in the final fight, we better show off the SB3. Let's show off the disintegration. I love how the gun just kind of like manifests on his final hit. Like he just kind of like downloads it. It's pretty damn cool. Also, I really like his blocking animation. That kind of like tech shield, man. Very, very cool. Right, let's fire this off. Get the armor break. Boosh. Not too bad. Right, can we see much of a difference in our hits? Yeah, again, it feels about like 20-25%. Now we're in Assassin's range, so we're going to blast some ass. But damn, I think one of the things about this character's special attacks is one of the things of the other Punisher as well. They're just so satisfying to fire off, because it's like this barrage of hits. Very, very fun. I like it quite a bit. But, I don't know, like, out of the new tech... We've had a few new tech characters recently. We've probably got 2 more coming next month. The favorite out of my 3 so far of, like, Punisher 2099, Yondu, and Nebula... I think it's still Yondu. Like, Yondu is a very, very cool character. Love Yondu. If I ever pull him in as a 4-star, he's definitely going up to 550. Just for... Not because he's, like, the best character in the world, just because he's quite fun to play. Like, I don't know what I'd use him for, actually. But I just want a 550 Yondu, you know? I want to live that dream. Damn. We are having, like, so many bad matchups. Like, ones that really don't go in favor of Punisher. A lot of class disadvantage here. Alright, we could have probably waited a little bit to go into overcharge there, but it doesn't matter too much. There we go. Right, that boy's down. And let's move on to the next matchup and fight. Anything favorable? Okay, what do we have? 4 Jane Foster, and then War Machine. Nothing super great, but nothing in our disadvantage either. So let's go Punisher here again. We're not going to have time to build up to the SB3, so let's actually show off a heavy attack. Let's do a little chain here. You can just get somebody to the wall instantly, and then on no battery, you can't stun anymore. The dream is broken. It's quite fun though. I guess you could probably use that tactic to like push a certain enemy to like what is it, like a special 2? You know, if there was like special 1 you really wanted to avoid, you just chain heavy into a special 2. I guess, like, I don't know how useful that would be, but you know, it might work. It's just something to keep in mind. All right, let's evade that. I gotta get good at fighting for Jane Foster. I'm gonna be up against her in the Labyrinth of Legends soon enough. Man, I should have gone for a full combo there. I thought the special 1 and Assassins would have been enough. But there we go. 4 Jane Foster's down. She's in the bin. Now we just got War Machine and then the boss to go. What boss are we fighting? Crossbones? Okay. Yeah, we'll go for that. We'll go for that. Should time in, I guess, fairly nicely. We're getting to the SB3 and maybe being on like 100 battery. Maybe that's going to deal a lot of damage. We're going to have to find out. Hopefully he doesn't shrug off the power gimp, though. I guess, to be honest, with Crossbones, like, you kind of... There are certain champions that, like, you kind of want them to gain power, because, like, their specials are so easy to evade that it just, you know, is in your favor that you just quickly evade them and then strike back in. Damn it, I thought we could get the in there. Oh, man, mistakes were made. Right, is this going to be enough? Almost. Maybe if that last one had crit. There we go. Okay, War Machine's down. Now we're just on the Crossbones. Oh, do we heal up? Nah, you know what, guys? We haven't healed up once this run so far, so we're gonna tough it out and try and get this Crossbones down without dying, which I guess is a little bit to do with the RNG on the shrug offs. Like, hopefully it doesn't shrug off like our first parry. I always gamble with the Crossbones and just attack in. It's only got a 25% chance to shrug off, so there's only like there's only a 1 in 4 chance we'll be completely screwed. Right, let's try and bait this SP1. Right, avoid that. We're building up quite nicely here. Oh, crap. Whoa, we got the regeneration at the cost of, like, all of my battery. Yeah, and that's how the regeneration works there, ladies and gentlemen. Just in case, you know, you're a little bit curious. Damn. Okay, we gotta play good now. So I'm gonna use a few SP1s just to get my battery a little bit topped up. I wonder if the regen can trigger twice. Is it only once per fight? Do I remember reading that? I am not too sure. Insane Crossbones recovery. Title of the video, ladies and gentlemen. If we can get it done. Right, we're gonna gamble, we're gonna go for this. Will it do it? Hopefully. A man can dream. Oh man, he is just about holding on there. Right, the disintegration got him in the end, so yeah. Not too bad, not too bad. Whew, I genuinely thought we were toast at the start of that fight. So yeah, I think like out of the 2 Punishers, like, I like the theme of this character. I like his utility. I think, like, he needs... I don't know, there's just something that he's missing to be, like, a super great champion. but I can't really, like, pinpoint what it is. I think he's going to have his utility uses. But out of the two Punishers, I think I prefer, like, the OG one, just because that one is just badass. Like, he's got so much bleed, so much damage going on. And I think, like, kind of playing both of the characters, even as a freestar, because I play my freestar Punisher quite a bit, you can really feel, like, the difference in terms of damage. Like, the OG one, man, he's such a hard-hitting character. Very, very fun to play. So I think I prefer him a little bit more, but I think this character, he's a cool addition to the game. He's a good addition. Unlike, like, Carnage, who didn't have, like, any utility and just had really, really sucky damage. Had some cool animations, but I really don't think they did that character justice. But for Punisher 2099, he could be a little bit cooler, but I think he has some good stuff going for him. He's certainly going to be one of those champions that, like, you'll be like, oh, that's pretty good. Like, I'm glad I picked that up as a 4-star. It's not going to be anything like super terrible, like a Hulkbuster. It's just gonna be like, okay, that ain't too bad, that ain't too bad. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, feel free to smash that like button, that'd be greatly appreciated. Apart from that, thank you very much for watching, take care, and have an absolutely fantastic day.